Customer experience is the sum of a customer's interactions with any organization that they buy from. It's the process of saying whether it's in looking for that product, purchasing that product, getting help after that product, upgrading that product. It's all of those different interactions that any customer may have with an organization. And it's measured from the point of view to say, what is my experience compared to the expectations I had prior to having the experience? So if my expectations were higher than the experience I got, I tend to be less satisfied. If my expectations are lower than the service I get, then I tend to be more satisfied. And that's the overall generic definition of customer experience. Why is customer experience important? Well, we know that those that excel at customer experience compared to their competitors can mean millions in extra revenue for those organizations. Customer experience is going to overtake price and product as the key brand differentiator by 2020. We're also living in a different era now. We were very much product-centric in the 1970s, and then the 1990s, we saw that was augmented by services, and we saw products and services as a key differentiator. We moved into the 2000s talking about customers and being customer-centric, and I would argue that today we should be talking about being more relationship-centric. So looking at how customers interact at every touch point in an organization and making sense of that so we know how to improve and be more sensitive to customers at those touch points. And going forward, customer experience will definitely separate the winners from the losers. According to a recent Forrester survey I read, 86% of companies that want to excel at customer experience, but only 27% of those qualified as good according to Forrester. And in just a few years, 89% of businesses will compete mainly on customer experience. The most important part is that data elevates the customer experience. Departmental silos and lack of integrated information systems have been cited as the top obstacles to creating a more unified customer experience. And on top of that, data drives customer experience, revenue generation, and it helps reduce cost, as well as accelerating process efficiencies and quality improvements. Right now, we are seeing organizations that are leading the way on trying to get single views of customers, being able to join up customer experience touch points, for example. But there are plenty of companies that are not there yet. And even those that can be categorized as followers or laggards are actually planning to get to that point in the next 2 years. I predict that the data revolution of customer experience is about to explode now, and the organizations that are adopting that are positioning themselves very well to be the winners in the future. And certainly from the executives that I talk to, a substantial number anticipate that data analytics will soon result in a significant shift in their ability to deliver a superior customer service. I think an important way to approach this is to look at the end game, where we're trying to get to at the end. And that has to be that the culture of the organization changes over time so that anybody and everybody that joins that organization and is working there on a day-to-day basis understands what they need to do to enhance the customer experience. And this is throughout the whole organization. It's not just the frontline staff that have the day-to-day transactions with customers. It's the support staff that help those frontline people make sure that they can achieve what's necessary. Now, that's the end game of having the cultural change. But the start game has to start with the data. And I say this because it's very difficult to set out on a journey where you're trying to empower your employees, trying to engage them in the knowledge of what they need to do without giving them the information they need to do the job in the first place. So making sure that you can create information that is specific to the customer is a key requirement of engaging and empowering your employees to know what to do. Are there any risks? Absolutely not. And quite the contrary, I think we should be asking the question, how do we make sure that we empower our workforce to be able to act on the information that they get delivered? Now, the implication of this is each customer is different and has different interactions with us, which means the data pertaining to that customer will be different. And the people that interact with that customer need to understand that that data is relevant to the people they're talking to. But also within the organization, we've got different roles, different responsibilities, and different hierarchies. And those people in the organization need to see different data sets. So, for example, if I was an executive in an organization, I'm bothered about more strategic issues. I'm allocating resources. I want to know where our competitive positioning is, for example. If I'm a senior manager, I'm managing risk. I'm putting process in place. I'm trying to get the most out of our opportunities. So I need data that's going to help support me in that position. And if I'm a frontline person dealing with customers, I need tactical information. I need to know exactly what that customer's been doing with my organization. And so I can interact with them in a way that is suitable for that customer. Well, surveys have ostensibly been, for the last 11, 12 years, the core mechanism of how organizations have got to understand their customers. But the problem we're going to face going forward is that the survey burden is real. And we're accountable for ensuring that we're actually only asking for the information that we really need and that we really will use. Gone are the days of having 20 question, 40 question surveys, because survey fatigue is creeping in to every buyer in the market. It's not just one organization that's surveying customers. It may be 20 or it may be 30. And we can all see that over time, the response rate is going to reduce. Now, there is empirical evidence that says the shorter the survey, the more likelihood is that someone's going to answer it. On the contrary side, the company that are delivering the survey are going to get less information back from those customers that they can make good decisions with and drive actions from. And so one of the key components going forward is going to be, when you look at survey data, that you need to be able to link it with financial and operational data, so that will provide context and prioritize actions throughout the whole organization. Well, Syngro's been in the market of customer experience since 2004. We're probably one of the most established organizations making technology for customer experience executives throughout the world. We've always understood that technology is only the enabler to allow organizations to affect change. And we've covered some of the elements today about why customer experience is important, why data needs to be at the center of customer experience to make it work. And that is fundamental in terms of our approach to ensure that customer experience can be enabled in large, complex organizations. There are numerous different tools out there to kind of aggregate data, to display data, to report on data. But because we are customer experience experts, all of our technology that we produce is very much based around the problems that customer experience people face in terms of enabling their organization to become culturally aware of customer experience and go on a journey where they can empower, enlighten, and engage their employees to act in the best interests of their customers.